Okay, quick question. What if the one small change you keep putting off is the thing that fixes your skin, your sleep, your energy, and your mood? That was me. I switched to organic, and I haven't looked back. This is the beginning, how it started, the first steps, and why it stuck. It began on a random Tuesday. I was late, sipping cold coffee, and my face was not happy. Breakouts, puffy eyes, dull skin. I opened my fridge, and it looked like a tired gas station. Sauces with long labels, neon snacks, and mystery leftovers in plastic boxes. I took a photo and felt a little sick. I'd said, I'll get healthy soon for years, but soon never showed up. So I made a deal with myself. Switch to organic for 30 days. Not forever, just a test. If I felt nothing, I could quit. If I felt even a small shift, I'd keep going. It felt like a fair trade. No drama, just data from my own body. To stop the overthinking, I set 3 rules. 1. Pick organic for basics when I can. Produce eggs, milk, and meat. 2. Keep meals simple. No big recipes or fancy steps, just real food in a normal kitchen. 3. If something tastes bad or wrecks my budget, I can change course. I didn't need perfect, I needed doable. The store felt new, like I'd never really looked before. I read labels and laughed at how long some lists were. If the ingredients sounded like a science class, back it went. If I could say every word, it went in the cart. Apples, bananas, spinach, eggs, yogurt, oats, olive oil, chicken thighs, tomatoes, potatoes, carrots, a block of cheese, salsa that looked like tomatoes, not confetti, and a dark chocolate bar because I'm still me. Some prices were higher, but not all. Swapping a few staples didn't break me. I also noticed something simple. When I picked real food, I grabbed fewer snacks without trying. Fewer extras in the cart, less noise in my head. Back home, I cleared one shelf and made the good stuff easy to reach. I moved the new food to eye level and pushed the old bags and boxes out of sight. Breakfast was oats with a sliced banana and a spoon of peanut butter with 2 ingredients. Lunch was a big bowl of spinach, tomatoes, avocado, and a fried egg. Dinner was chicken thighs with salt, pepper, lemon, and a tray of potatoes and carrots. Simple, warm, done. I ate, sat still for a minute, and felt full without the heavy crash. I slept hard that night and tried not to read into it, but I noticed. On day 2, I woke up without that sandbag feeling. I was still tired but not wrecked. Coffee tasted like coffee, not survival. By day 3, flavors felt louder. Tomatoes tasted like tomatoes. Yogurt wasn't fake sweet. The olive oil had a little bite that made me want bread just to dip. That made the next choice easy. When I opened the fridge, I wanted the simple stuff again. I didn't post about it or give a speech. I just kept my promise, 1 meal at a time. It wasn't perfect, but it was real, and that was enough to keep me moving. By day 3, little things started to feel different. The midday crash didn't slam me like it used to. I still got hungry, but it wasn't that shaky, panicked kind. And food tasted louder. A tomato tasted like sunshine and acid. The yogurt was clean, not sticky sweet. Even the olive oil had a bite that made bread feel special. I wasn't trying to be a food snob. I just noticed I wanted the simple stuff because it actually hit the spot. That made it easy to keep choosing it, even when I was busy. Around day 5, my skin sent the first real signal. The hot red patch on my cheek looked calmer. The puff under my eyes was smaller. I wasn't doing a new routine or adding 10 steps to my nights. I was just eating different food and drinking more water because I wanted to, not because a checklist told me to. My mood felt steadier too. I still had stress, but I wasn't snapping at random things or reaching for sugar to push through the afternoon. I could work, take a breath, and not feel like I needed a reset every hour. Day 7 hit with a test. Dinner out with friends. Old me would have used that as a full pass to go wild and deal with the fallout later. New me kept it simple. I didn't interrogate the server or make it weird. I chose a bowl with rice, greens, grilled veggies, and chicken. I ate at a normal pace, talked, laughed, and felt good when dessert came. I shared a few bites and moved on. The big change wasn't the food, it was the headspace. No drama, no rules, just a choice I could live with tomorrow. The next morning I cleaned out my pantry. No rage purge, no guilt trip. I read labels like a calm adult. If it was loaded with stuff I wouldn't cook with at home, it moved to the back. I brought the new staples to the front. Oats, nuts, honey, olive oil, canned beans, simple pasta, a jar of tomato sauce that looked like tomatoes. I set up an easy breakfast corner. Jar of oats, jar of chia, jar of nuts, cinnamon, honey, so I could build a bowl half asleep. I put fruit in a bowl on the counter because if I see it, I eat it. Money was still on my mind, so I picked my must-haves. For me, that meant berries and greens, eggs and milk, and most of my chicken and ground beef. Those I got organic when I could. For pantry stuff, I stayed flexible. Store brands were fine if the ingredients were clean. Sales helped. And I learned another trick. When real food fills the cart, fewer random snacks jump in. My bill didn't spike like I feared because I wasn't buying 5 extras that never actually satisfied me. To cut decision fatigue, I wrote down 5 easy meals and kept them on loop. Oats with banana and peanut butter, eggs with spinach and toast, yogurt with nuts and honey, chicken with roasted veggies, pasta with olive oil, garlic, and a handful of greens. If I got bored, I added lemon, salsa, or hot sauce. Done. No meal plan binder, no chef vibes. Just food I'll actually make on a Tuesday night. The biggest win of week 1 wasn't perfect eating. It was proof that small, steady choices add up fast. I felt better, I slept better, and I didn't need to white-knuckle my way through cravings. I'd made a switch I could actually keep, and that's when I knew I was onto something. Week 2 is where the change started to feel real. I wasn't floating on motivation anymore, I just woke up and did it. Mornings felt less heavy. I made breakfast without thinking. Oats or eggs, and the day didn't feel like a mountain. My afternoon energy didn't crash and burn. I still got tired, but it was a normal tired, not the "why does my brain feel like wet cement" tired. Water suddenly tasted amazing. I craved it, which was new for me. And my skin kept calming down. The angry spots lost their heat, and the texture smoothed out. I wasn't perfect this week. One night I ate half a bag of chips standing over the counter, but I noticed I didn't spiral. I shrugged, drank water, and made a decent dinner. That was progress. My mood lifted in small ways. I didn't snap at tiny things. I didn't need sugar to power through every task. I could focus, finish, and move on. That alone felt like a gift. I also started paying attention to how I ate. I put my phone down for the first few bites, just to taste the food I made. It felt awkward and also good. I took a breath before the first bite like I was telling my body, "Hey, we're eating now." Sounds silly, but it changed the pace. I ate slower, felt full at the right time, and didn't crash on the couch afterward. Cooking gave me a quiet kind of pride. Not chef stuff, simple pans, salt and pepper, lemon, olive oil, but finishing a meal and knowing every ingredient hit different. My kitchen wasn't a war zone. I washed the pan, wiped the counter, and felt like I'd done something nice for future me. That made it easier to cook again the next day, which turned into a loop I liked. People started noticing too. A coworker asked if I'd slept more. A friend said my skin looked calmer. There's that word again. Calm. Inside and out. I wasn't doing anything dramatic, I was just consistent, and it showed. Then I hit a wall. It was late, I was stressed, and I could hear the fast food drive-thru calling my name. I could picture the bag, the smell, the first bite. Old me would have grabbed keys without thinking. New me tried a rule. Eat a real meal first, then decide. I put rice in a bowl, added beans, leftover chicken, avocado, hot sauce, and a squeeze of lime. I ate at the table, drank a glass of water, then took a 10-minute walk around the block. When I came back, the craving wasn't gone, but it was quiet. I didn't go. Not because I couldn't, but because I didn't want to anymore. That felt like a win I hadn't had in years. By the end of week 2, I knew this wasn't a phase. The small stuff added up. Steady energy, calmer skin, a lighter mood, fewer 9 p.m. pantry raids. I kept my staples stocked, kept my meals simple, and kept listening to my body. It wasn't perfect, but it was working. And that's when I realized I wasn't trying to be a new person. I was just being me, with better fuel. Week 3 surprised me in the best way. I fell asleep faster and stayed asleep. No 2 a.m. staring at the ceiling, no scrolling in the dark. I woke up before my alarm and didn't hate it. My runs felt smoother. I'm not a marathon person, but my legs didn't feel like bricks, and my breath found a steady rhythm sooner. I ate a banana and some yogurt before, and something simple after. Nothing fancy, just listening to what my body wanted and giving it real food. Grocery day got easier too. I knew my staples, so I spent less time guessing. I grabbed the same eggs, greens, oats, olive oil, chicken thighs, yogurt, and fruit. I added 1 or 2 new things so it stayed fun, like a different cheese or a seasonal veggie. I made a big pan of roasted veggies on Sunday, used them in eggs, bowls, and wraps all week, and thanked Sunday me every time. I prepped 2 jars of overnight oats so mornings weren't a fight. The more I lined up these small moves, the less I had to think about food choices, and the more energy I had for everything else. There were still bumps. A late meeting ran over, and I walked past the snack drawer, felt that old tug, and paused. I told myself the same rule: eat a real meal, then decide. I reheated leftover chicken and veggies, added rice, hot sauce, and lemon. 10 minutes later, the snack siren was quiet. It didn't always vanish, but it lost its grip. That small gap between want and action gave me space to choose what helped me tomorrow, not just what felt good right now. By week 4, I traveled for the weekend. This used to wreck me. Random snacks, heavy meals, a food hangover on Monday. This time I aimed for small wins: apples and almonds in the bag, simple meals on the road, dessert when I actually wanted it, not just because it was there. I came home steady, not wrecked. I unpacked, put fruit in the bowl, tossed chicken in the oven, and kept the train moving. No guilt, no restart speech, just the next meal. People kept noticing. You look rested. Your skin looks calm. You seem lighter. I felt it too. Not perfect, just steady. I didn't ride the sugar roller coaster or crash at 3 p.m. My grocery bill stayed reasonable because the cart wasn't full of extras that never satisfied me. I cooked more, wasted less, and stopped buying 5 drinks a day that were basically dessert. That alone made a difference. I also learned what I actually like. Turns out I love simple food made well. A ripe tomato with salt, warm oats with cinnamon, crispy potatoes next to juicy chicken, a square of dark chocolate after dinner. I don't miss the constant hunt for the next new flavor bomb. The basics hit when my body's taken care of. If you're thinking about trying this, start tiny. Pick your must-haves, maybe berries, greens, eggs, and milk, and go organic there. Keep the rest flexible. Build 5 dead simple meals you can make with your eyes half closed. Put good stuff at eye level. Drink water first. Eat without your phone for the first few bites. Notice how you feel 2 hours later. That's your feedback loop. I'm not saying I'll never want fries at midnight again. I'm saying I know how good it feels when I wake up clear, calm, and ready. That pull is stronger. That's why I switched to organic, and why I haven't looked back.